up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. Before I begin, let me say thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and we're unboxing some acrylic displays. I'm just kidding. I've got a number of CGC-Graded Star Wars comics that I wanted to show you guys that I picked up over the last, I don't know, couple of months that I just haven't had a chance to show on the channel yet. We're going to start from least hot to complete and total napalm for your eyes. So I've got a number of them that I picked up either on eBay or on Instagram, or the best ones are at the end, so make sure to stick around. There are some really nice modern keys that I've finally managed to acquire that I've been eyeing for a while. Let's go ahead and dig right in. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a few of these before, but this is Journey to Star Wars, The Force Awakens #2, Shattered Empire. And this is the, I believe, 1:15 ratio variant. There's a standard cover as well. But this one I picked up for really cheap. Now, what is the significance of this one? This is the first mention of Operation Cinder. And if you guys read a lot of the recent books within the Star Wars universe, such as Alphabet Squadron especially, there's a trilogy there by Alexander Freed that covers Operation Cinder. And basically what Operation Cinder is an operation that apparently the Emperor had in place that should he die, it is a plan where he recruits his most loyal Imperial Army members to attack different planets and cause destruction. So that's really what was covered in the Alphabet Squadron. And so this is the very first mention in comics of Operation Cinder. Operation Cinder was mentioned in The Mandalorian last season. And, you know, so I think it's a really minor key. I think it probably won't appreciate in value or anything like that, but maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe it'll get revisited. But I like the cover a lot, and it's because it's a high ratio variant. I think it's a 1:15. I thought it was worth picking up, and I got it for basically hardly anything. I think with shipping and everything, it was $50 or $55. So you can't beat that price, but it's a really nice cover. And so that's that one. The next one I picked up that I also got very cheap, I got it in an auction. And this one I picked up for $41 plus shipping, and that is The Rise of Kylo Ren #2. It's got a really nice cover by Clayton Crane, who is a big artist. Will Sliney is also the artist. I apologize if I'm pronouncing his name, but Will Sliney was he did a lot of the art inside the book, and he's got a bunch of really nice covers for High Republic and High Republic Adventures. Charles Soule, or High Republic, not High Republic Adventures. Charles Soule is a story. He's obviously a great writer, but a pretty amazing cover. And this one is the first mention of the High Republic era within comics. So I think that this one has potential to maybe, you know, see some appreciation. If it doesn't, I don't care. But you got some, it looks like Knights of Ren there with an older Luke. It's kind of a stylized Luke and a stylized young Kylo Ren or Ben Solo fighting off the Knights of Ren. So anyway, this is you know, a fairly inexpensive book to pick up as well. It's sold as high as about 120 or so, but I got it for $41 in an auction. It ended like at 10 o'clock in the morning one day. So but anyway, The Rise of Kylo Ren #3 is actually the better one to get, because that one is the first cameo appearance of Avar Kriss, who's really big within the High Republic universe. And it seems like Disney/Marvel have big plans for the High Republic universe. There's 2 comic series, and I would imagine at some point we're going to be having either a cartoon adaptation or a TV show or a movie or something. But it's warmed on me. It's warmed on me. I apologize for all the glare here, but it's got a lot of glare. It's warmed on me. I didn't like it at first when I first read it, but I read the books out of order, and now that I've reread them kind of in order, nerd alert, I actually really enjoy the stories, and I think it's got potential to really pick up. And as it relates to the High Republic, the other one I wanted to show you before we move on to the next kind of tier of books, this is High Republic #1. I've already shown you the standard cover that I have, but this is the Stephanie Hans cover, and this one depicts Yoda and Avar Kriss on the cover. This one is a really nice cover. This is the first appearance of a number of key characters within the High Republic universe. The first appearance of Keeve Trennis, Skier, Loden Greatstorm, Stellan Gios, Vernestra Rowe. So A book that is still not nearly as expensive as some of the ratio variants, but I love this cover. I think that Yoda looks amazing. Avar Kriss, who I really enjoy how she's portrayed. She's one of the main Jedi Masters and leader of the Starlight Beacon. I thought that this cover was worth picking up, and I got it a pretty good deal on it. This one is sold as high as about $150 in the last few months, but you know, Star Wars comics in general have come back down to earth a little bit, just as the rest of the comic market has. And so I got this one for $68, so less than half of the high price for these books. So I thought that was a good pickup, but that is the first kind of leg of issues here. And so now let's dig into the next tier. So now on to the next tier of books, in my opinion. I've got Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha #1. This is the Mike Mayhew Studio Edition C. And as it mentions on the label here, this is a New Mutants 87 second printing cover homage. And so let me show you the book here really quickly first. Now, I showed one or two of these on Twitter, and I didn't tag Mike Mayhew, the cover artist. He's obviously a big name within the comic community. He's done a number of different covers across a number of different kind of comic series, but I didn't even tag him in the post, but he apparently found it and retweeted it. And so I'm going to put a cover or an image up right here showing that he retweeted it. And I was like a 12-year-old girl at a Justin Timberlake concert. I was really excited about that. Nerd alert. But this is a great cover. One of the more exclusive covers. You know, War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha and Alpha #1 and just War of the Bounty Hunters #1. There's like 40 different covers. I mean, it's just crazy. But this one was a store exclusive online, and it's got IG-88, Bosk, and Zuckuss there, and Dengar. Dengar looks pretty surprised. Dengar looks like my wife when another package comes in. It's got kind of a faux gold, kind of faux foil gold finish to it. It just looks awesome. Just a great cover. And so again, this is an homage to New Mutants 87, which is the first appearance of Cable. The second printing of that. I'll put up an image of that right now, right here. And so Cable was he's obviously big within the New Mutants line, and the second printing of New Mutants 87 is not terribly expensive. You can pick up a CGC 9.8 of that one for like $150, so it's not terrible. But that's what this is a cover homage to. So we'll put that one right here. And then I also got the Virgin version of that. This is edition B. It's the Red Virgin edition. And this one is a New Mutants 87 cover homage for the first printing of that Cable first appearance comic. So I'll put a graphic up of that as well. But really nice. It's just got the plain red background to kind of match the first printing of that New Mutants 87. So these two I pre-ordered. I believe I pre-ordered them on the comicmint.com. Anytime these kind of cover exclusives come up, it's hard for me to not buy them. I think that it's an inexpensive way. You know, like, so for example, this homage to the New Mutants 87 second printing is not terribly expensive to get the original, but to get the original New Mutants 87 first printing is well outside my budget. You're talking $800 or $900 for that, maybe a little bit less than an auction, but that's not a book that I could ever acquire. And this way, I have the homage to that really expensive key book within the New Mutants universe, but I've got it with all the bounty hunters. So it's almost like, to me, given that I'm a Star Wars collector, it's a better pickup, and I'm paying 20% or less of the price. So that's that one. And then the last one is part of this second tier of books is this one. This one just came in the other day. If you saw it on Instagram, this is Darth Maul #3 from June of 2017. And what's important about this book is that this is the first comic cover appearance of Cad Bane, the bounty hunter. We all saw him, if you watched The Bad Batch, which I love, by the way. He makes an appearance in an episode there, and there's a lot of rumors that he is going to be appearing either in The Mandalorian or Ahsoka or something. And this cover is awesome. It's got Aura Singh and Darth Maul, and I don't know these two guys' names, but it's just an awesome cover. Now, this is not nearly as important of a book as Darth Maul #2, the issue that came out the month prior. That is the first full comic appearance of Cad Bane. He's not on the cover, though. But the price difference is pretty substantial. This one went for about 20% of what Darth Maul #2 goes for. And so that's a strategy that I talked about in the past, that, you know, if maybe you don't want to spend $500 on a first appearance comic, well, why don't you get the issue that comes out the month after that? And in this case, the issue that came out the month after that, it actually features him on the cover, whereas his first appearance comic only has Darth Maul, as you saw in the graphic. So this I actually like this cover better, but from a valuation or investments perspective, if you will, Darth Maul #2 is the one to get. But it's obviously a lot more expensive since it's his first true full comic appearance. But this one was a nice one though, and I just thought it was a nice price, and it sold as high as $200 on eBay, and I picked it up for about $115. So I thought that was a pretty good value. All right, so on to tier number 3, and these are where the hot books come in. Before I show you those, for those of you new to the channel, please consider subscribing. For those of you who are existing subscribers, thank you so much for watching. And let's go ahead and dig into the super hot books, 2 of which I got from the recent comic link auctions that ended a couple weeks ago. All right, and now on to the final 3 books that I wanted to show you. And 2 of them are related to this series, which is Kanan the Last Padawan, or in this case, for, you know, they changed the name a little bit later into the books. I think at issue number 6, they just called it Kanan. Well, you've already seen this one. This is Kanan #12. This is a cover homage to the first issue. And this is the last issue of the series. So there's 12 issues total. But that is an homage to the next big book I picked up, and that is Kanan #1. So let me pull that one out right now. And so here is Kanan #1. And this is, now, as I mentioned many times, probably you guys are sick of hearing it, the old cases like this one mentioned that this is the first appearance of Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, Chopper, Hera Syndulla, Sabine Wren, and Zeb Orrelios. Well, they've since changed that because they really only appear on 1 page in this book. And so as of now, they're labeling this as just the first appearance of Kanan Jarrus, or Caleb Dune. But they are going to, and they're labeling the next one I'm going to show you here as the true first appearance. But this is, you know, issue number 12 is an homage to this one. So you can see how that stacks up. This is one that's been on my list for a while, as you guys know, and as I've covered in my comic videos, that I really think I'm a big believer in the Star Wars Rebels team. I think they're going to make a huge appearance in Disney Plus shows. I just did a video last week about Sabine Wren and how she's being cast right now. So I'm a big believer that we're going to be seeing more and more of the Rebels team. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I lucked out to get this one, this issue number 1, which you know, goes for a pretty penny. But the more expensive version of this one is the second printing. The second printing, which I'll put up as a graphic now, that one is a lot more expensive. That one is much fewer fewer copies out there. It's got kind of a darker background instead of you know, having Kanan Jarrus in the background. It's more like a starry sky. That one's a lot more expensive than this one. That one can go for, you know, I'd say $450 to $550 depending on auction and buy it now and things like that. So very expensive book, but this is the first printing, and it's an homage to issue number 12 is an homage to that cover. So kind of cool to see both of them together. But the big one, which I picked up on Comic Link, is this one. This is Kanan the Last Padawan #6. And again, this is the old style case where it's not labeled as the first full team appearance of the Rebels, but that has since changed. That I know CBCS has already started labeling this as the first full appearance of the Rebels team, and CGC, I believe, has also followed suit, although I have not seen an updated label yet with that. But this is really the first full team appearance of Sabine Wren and Hera Syndulla and everybody. So this is the big book. This is the one that goes for big money. And luckily I got this on Comic Link, and then like 2 days later, not even that long, they announced the Sabine Wren news that she's going to be appearing on Ahsoka on Disney Plus. So I got very lucky with the timing of this, and the prices jumped by about 40 to 45% versus what I paid for this one. So very happy to have it. It's an epic cover. I mean, just look at that cover. Sabine Wren and Hera Syndulla look especially good. I love Zeb Orrelios there. Just an awesome cover. Awesome cover. So that really completes the 3 big books within within the Kanan series. So there's 12 books total in the series, but I've got the 3 big ones in the series now. I've got number 12, number 1, and number 6. So pretty cool to see all of them. Now let's finish it off with the coup de grace, the final item I picked up from Comic Link, that is Pure Fire. So here's the final one. This is my first 9.8 graded vintage comic, and this is Star Wars number 43. This came out in January of 1981. So this is over 40 years old. It was graded 9.8 with white pages. Part 5 of The Empire Strikes Back. And what an epic book this is. Easily, probably my favorite comic in my collection now. Betrayal at Bespin. And it's got Lando with Lobot and a Bespin security guard as Han and Leia and Chewbacca kind of enter for the first time. Betrayal at Bespin. What an awesome book. This is the first comic book appearance of Lando Calrissian and the second comic appearance of Boba Fett. And when I say that, it's for standard size comics. I believe, and you comic experts can correct me on this, I believe there was an oversized issue that came out prior to both Star Wars 42, which is listed as Boba Fett's first comic book appearance, and number 43. So there's an oversized book that, really large size comic that has their true first full appearance. But in terms of standard size comics, this is Lando's first appearance and Boba Fett's second appearance. So pretty amazing to see a 40-year-old comic that is in absolutely pristine condition. And just awesome. And the crazy thing is, I got this for such a great value, in my opinion. I picked this up for less than what I paid for Kanan number 6, which is this one here. So to me, this was a screaming buy. It's a book that I've talked about in the past. It's a strategy that I continue to really harp on, that, when the first appearance of Boba Fett, for example, has gotten so price prohibitive for, let's call it quote unquote normal collectors. I can't afford a first appearance Boba Fett right now. It's just too expensive. It's $3,000 to $4,000 easily in a 9.8. But this one, I was able to pick it up for even less than what I paid for Kanan number 6. So I think it's a really good buy, and of course the cover art is incredible. It just looks good. Now this is the direct edition. Obviously does not have the UPC code. This in a newsstand edition would have the UPC code, and it would be quite a bit more expensive. It would probably be at least double what I paid for this direct edition. But anyway, I got this at Comic Link the same time I got Kanan number 6. I was very happy. Just to branch off for a second, it was my first time using Comic Link. It was very easy to use. It was very straightforward for paying, and they packed the issues well. And they arrived quickly with signature required, and I was just overall really happy with the experience. The buyer's premium on Comic Link is 3% versus, as high as, let's call it 18% on Hakes or some of the other big auction houses like Heritage and Vectis and things like that. So Comic Link is a great website that and they have new auctions every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. Across all kinds of different series, and I just highly recommend. They've got some incredible books up right now, like first appearance of Punisher, and just incredible stuff at high grade. So very happy with my experience with Comic Link so far. Anyway, that's all I really had. I just hadn't done an unboxing in a while, and I've put together kind of a nice run here of recent modern and vintage Star Wars books, and I thought you guys would like to take a look at them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.